The principle of repetition states that you should repeat some aspect of your design throughout the entire piece. Repetition can be thought of as consistency, and this may be one trick, the easiest trick, that you're already doing in many of your layouts and pages. You can create the idea of repetition through the use of imagery, fonts, sizes, weight and alignment, and even color. Try to apply the same elements to every page that you produce. Here's a business card that we've looked at in other videos. Note that it has good proximity, alignment, and even some contrast. But let's see if we can tie in the text at the top to the text with the bottom. One simple thing we could do is repeat the bolding of the text. Since the phone number is important, by making it bold, it draws attention to the number and enhances the appeal. Now your eye bounces back and forth between the bold text at the top and the bottom, and these points of repetition provides a sense of unity to your work. Take advantage of those elements that you're already using to make your project consistent and turn your elements into repetitive graphic symbols. Headlines and subheads are a good starting point. Making a consistent repetition of typefacing, bolding, and size makes it look much stronger. Note that the layout on the right has contrast, but it's not consistent. Repetition of fonts and the headlines in the body is key to this element. Repetition helps organize the information and guides the reader through the page. Even on a one-page document, repetitive elements establish a sophisticated continuity and can tie the whole thing together. Note the number of repeated elements just on this one page. There's bold typeface and light typefaces, square bullets, the indentions are repeated, spacing, and even alignment. Some of the best repeated elements can come from clip art imagery as well. You can take a fun graphic or part of it and reuse it in various ways. In this example, we see the triangles being repeated throughout the design in different sizes, weights, and even orientation. Sometimes the repeated items are not exactly the same as the object, but the objects are close enough and they're related enough to have their connections be very clear. Using the principles of repetition, you can sometimes pull an element from an existing design and create a new design based on that one element. In this example, the dots on the letterhead that were repeating, they were enlarged and put the mom and pop illustration inside of them. Then they were repeated as background elements in other collateral pieces. The experimentation with repeating elements and changing their characteristics can be endless, but don't overdo it very much with the variety. Repetition also gives a sense of professionalism and authority to your work. It gives your reader the feeling that someone is in charge because repetition is so obvious and thoughtful in its design decisions. Repetition is a stronger form of being consistent. Look at elements that are already being repeated, such as bullets, typefaces, lines, colors, etc., and see if it might be appropriate to make one of these elements stronger and use it as a repetitive element.